Hi, in this video we will talk about square root of iota and infinity, right? Before talking about the square root of iota and infinity, I just want to explain what is the exact meaning of square or square root. And here I would like to explain this with the help of geometrical representation of square and square root. If I talk about square of a number, then actually square of a number is represented by square of that number, fine. And here we are multiplying x with x. A number is multiplied to itself, then it is called as a square of that number, fine. And this we can also say that area of a square with length, with side length x, right? So suppose if we have a square, then this square with side length x, this square will be having area of x square, right? So whenever we take square of any number, then we usually say that it is actually an area with side of that square area. This is actually an area of a square with side length x. This is the meaning of a square. And in the same way, if I have to talk about square root, this was something, this is for square, and in order to find out square root, then for square root I have to take square root of that area, or I could say that I can write this x into x, or square root of the area of a square with side length x, right? So in such way this will be equals to x. So square root of any number will actually give us a side length of the square, right? So square of any number will gives us area of the square, and square root of any number will give us side length of that square, fine. So it will give us side length of the square. This is the geometrical representation of a square or a square root. Why I'm explaining this way of square and square root, because we have to find out square root of iota and infinity, fine. We will explain this with the help of this geometrical representation. First of all, I would like to talk about a square root of iota. What is the exact value of iota? First of all, we will talk about the value of iota. As we already know that iota is actually equals to under root of -1, right? So in order to talk about the square root of iota, we need to find out the under root or square root of -1. When I say under root of -1, so I am taking under root of a particular number, so under root of an area, so this is the value of an area, right? So this is value -1 can be called as, this is actually equals to area of a square, fine, with side length -1. Or we can say that area of a square whose value, area of a square whose area is equals to -1. I won't say this yet up to the side length, because we have not find out the under root of -1 yet. So what will be, so yeah, what will be the area of a square with value -1? It means we have to create a square in such a way that it will produce negative area of that square. So geometrically, practically, it is impossible. We cannot create any square whose area will be equals to a negative value. This is impossible, right? We cannot produce, we cannot create any area, any square with a negative area. So what we can say that its value is not defined. We cannot define this value, we cannot create this area, we cannot create this square with negative area, so we cannot define this value of -1. That is why practically it is not important, so we have given this value another name, which we usually say like this is imaginary number. This is not a real number, as we cannot create this square, so this is actually equals to an imaginary number, right? And in such ways I will further explain that what are the applications of defining this imaginary number iota, and I will explain this, that how in one of the branch of mathematics, which is calculus, we use this imaginary number. So in order to find out square root of iota, we would say that we cannot define it. It is impossible to find square root of iota. Fine. And in the same way, I would like to talk about square root of infinity. Square root of infinity means we need a square whose area, whose side length will be equals to infinite, or I will explain this now. So we need square root of infinity. That means this is infinity is actually equals to area of a square whose side lengths are infinite. Means we cannot find the side length of that area. This is also impossible actually, because we do, what is the meaning of infinite? It means that the side length or the area which is beyond our reach, we cannot reach to that square. And if we suppose that we make a circle, sorry, make a square of side length equal to diameter of earth, then also it will not be infinite, because that value is also finite. We can define that value, we have some numbers for that, so this is infinite. In the same way, if we if we find square root of infinite, and area will be equals to infinite into infinite, and square root will also be equals to infinite, sorry, square root will also be equals to infinite. So in such way, square root of infinity will be equals to infinity, right? So in this case it was impossible to define. Here also it is impossible, but here we can say that this value is not this value is we can say that this is equals to infinite, because we have no any separate value for infinite. Here we have defined a particular value for under root of -1, which is equals to imaginary, but here is no any particular value, so we will say that infinite is the square root of infinity, right? Now we will talk about, I would like to tell you a little bit about applications of iota. What is iota? Actually in calculus we have done some applications of iota, and in these applications we usually define some periodic functions like trigonometric functions or other periodic functions which are having a particular time period for its motion. For example, we have cos theta plus iota sin theta. This can also be represented by cis theta. Fine. C for cos, iota for this iota, S for this sin theta, and theta is for these values of these angular values of this expression cis theta. And this is also represented with the help of e raised to power iota theta. Actually this is a periodic function in calculus. Fine. So these are periodic functions, and we cannot define these functions without this value of iota. So that is why we have taken these values of iota in our mathematical representation, so that we can define some values where real values are not sufficient to give us the full picture of our function. So that is why we introduce these values, imaginary functions, in our expressions of mathematical expressions. And here also, if we put theta is equal to pi, what we get is iota raised to power, sorry, exponential e raised to power iota pi, and this is actually equals to -1. Fine. So this is the reason like why we have introduced the value of iota instead of -1. And now we have many functions in mathematics where we write combined form of imaginary numbers with real numbers. Imaginary numbers plus real numbers are combined to form a particular set of numbers, and this set of numbers is called as what? Complex numbers. Fine. And in complex numbers, what are the examples of complex numbers? I can write this as 3 plus 2 iota, or 4 plus 3 iota, or 7 plus 8 iota. These are the examples of complex numbers. Why I said complex numbers are combination of imaginary numbers and real numbers? These portions which are without value of iota, these numbers are called as real numbers. These are real numbers, right? And the numbers which are having iota, as I already told you that iota is an imaginary number, so this is the imaginary component of the complex numbers. These are real components of the complex numbers, and these are imaginary components of the complex numbers, right? So these complex numbers are used in many calculations of mathematics. And how to define these complex numbers on our plane? Like we use number series or graphs to represent our numbers. So we have a complex plane, like we write like this is x-axis where we usually represent our numbers. Here it is y-axis, but for this is actually I'm going to explain, I'm going to represent this as a complex plane. So here x-axis turns into real axis, so here we write all the real values, and y-axis turns into imaginary axis. Here we write all the imaginary numbers, right? This is imaginary axis. Suppose we have to write the value of 3 plus 2 iota. This will actually give us 1 2 3. 3 is real number, so here 3 will come, and 2 for imaginary axis. So this is 1 2, this is our point. 3 plus 2 iota, right? So this is actually a complex plane. And in other ways this can be represented by x plus iota y. X is a real number and y is an imaginary number. Fine. This is called as complex plane, and we usually represent our complex numbers on a complex plane, right? So this is all about a little bit more about what is iota, and we found here square root of iota and infinity. And thank you so much for watching.